Hello! Thank you everyone for coming today. Let's all go around and introduce ourselves. I'll start. I'm a butterfly. I fly slowly. I'm quiet. People look at me and smile. I make the world beautiful.
Wow, beautiful.
So beautiful. Now, your turn. Hello everyone. I'm a bee. I fly around and visit flowers. I help plants grow. And I make honey.
Honey!
Yes, we love honey. People think I'm mean, but if you respect me, I will respect you too.
Makes sense to me. Hi, I'm an ant. I'm small, but I work hard. I carry food, clean the forest, and build big houses. I don't stop. I never stop.
Wow, so strong. Okay, last one. What about you?
I'm a tick. I drink blood. That's it.
Do you help plants?
No. Do you clean anything? No.
Do you make honey?
Nope. Just drink blood. I wait on dogs. Then I bite them. Sometimes people too. Oh, wow. Also, I give diseases sometimes. Not always, just sometimes. I don't fly. I just wait and bite. Anyway, nice to meet you.
Who invited him? Let's just keep going.
I hate mosquitoes.
Wait!
You can talk?
Yes, I can talk. Please don't kill me.
Why not? You already bit me 2 times. Why are you so greedy? Why can't you just bite me once?
I don't know. I just really like your blood. Did you eat bananas recently?
Actually, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I can smell that. It smells great. Can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Can I just have one more sip of your blood? That's all I want. It's literally all I can think about.
No, don't be greedy. Let me ask you a question now. How did you even get in here? All of my windows are closed.
Oh man, it's so easy to get in here. So yeah, first there's the sink. Sinks are really easy to fly up. Also, your screen has like a million holes in it. You really need to get that fixed. Oh yeah, and you opened your door for like 10 seconds when you were getting that package. That's how I got in.
Dang, I knew I left that door open too long.
Just one bite, please.
I said no.
Okay, so now what? I'm trapped in here, and you won't let me bite you.
I'll open the window and let you out, but only because you can talk. But stop biting people so much. Once is enough.
Really? You'll just let me go?
Yes, let me open this window.
Okay, well, bye.
Yep, have a nice life.
Here I go.
Ow! Okay, John, I need your help with a quest.
All right. What quest?
We go into the dungeon, kill the dragon, and take the golden key. Super simple.
Sounds easy. Wait until you see my new fire spell. It does crazy damage.
Right. I know you want to do damage with your fire, but this time I need you to focus on healing.
But my fire spell is so strong. I can probably one-shot the boss.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't one-shot the dragon. Let's just play it safe. I'll tank, I'll soak the damage, you heal. Piece of cake.
Fine.
Do you promise? Last time you were healing me and then suddenly you stopped and tried to burn a tree.
Yeah, let's just go do the quest.
There he is, the dragon. Remember the plan. Just heal me.
Wait, is that an ice dragon?
What?
He's weak to fire. Ooh, baby, it's showtime.
John, what did I just say?
Yeah, heal you, whatever.
All right, I'm going in. John, heal me! I'm on fire!
Oops, I meant to hit the dragon.
You set me on fire?
No pain, no gain?
John!
여러분 잠시만요. 영어가 정말로 필요할 때 자신 있게 쓸 수 있나요? 진짜 목적은 여행하고 외국인과 대화하고 영어로 먹고 사는 거 아닌가요? 근데 왜 아직도 우리는 비동사, 현재 완료 진행형 같은 실생활에선 쓰지도 않은 문법 이름만 배우고 있을까요? 이제는 진짜 상황에 대비해야죠. 제가 직접 만든 real 영어 강의, 미국인 션의 살아있는 영어 패키지가 필요할 때입니다. 레스토랑이나 카페에서 주문하기, 공항에서 유심을 살 때, 입국 심사를 통과할 때, 실제로 상황, 실제로 원어민과 대화할 때 어떤 표현을 써야 하는지 하나하나 알려드리고 제가 직접 그 상황들에서 어떻게 대처하는지도 영상으로 생생하게 보여드립니다. 그리고 수강하시면 이런 시리즈도 함께 드립니다. 지금 이 영상을 보시는 분들께만 드리는 특별 혜택, 할인 코드 6level 입력 시 15% 할인, 왕초보도 환영입니다. 아래 링크를 눌러서 무료 수업 먼저 체험해보세요. 궁금한 점은 카카오톡으로 언제든지 물어보세요. 자, 이제 다시 영어 테스트로 돌아가 볼까요?
At last, after 1,000 years, I am free! You have 3 wishes. Choose wisely.
Sweet, okay. First wish, I want to be a billionaire.
Done. You now have 800 billion Venezuelan bolivars.
That's worth like $5.
Still a billionaire. Technically. Next.
Fine. Second wish, I want beautiful girls to fall in love with me.
Bold. I like it. Granted.
Wait, why is that deer looking at me? Is that a goat? Why are all these animals staring at me? What did you do?
You said beautiful girls. You didn't specify human. Honestly, that peacock's into you. Hard.
This is not what I meant.
Well, next time, be specific. Also, you may want to get a move on. That swan really seems to have a thing for you.
Oh my god.
Last wish?
Okay, I got this. I wish for $1 million US given to me right now. Legal, tax-free in my bank account. No weird side effects, nobody dies. No tricks, no talking animals, no curses. Just clean money. That's it.
Oof, that's very specific. Too specific.
Exactly. You can't twist it. Just do it.
Right, yeah. My powers don't work on Fridays.
It's Wednesday.
In Genie Standard Time. Totally different. Very confusing. Don't worry about it.
So you're not gonna do it?
I could, I just don't feel like it.
You're the worst.
Well, the peacock's still single. Anyways, bye.
I hope you get trapped in that lamp for another 1,000 years. I hate magic.
I'm gonna hit the sack. You staying up?
Yeah, for a bit. Night, man.
All right. Good night, little bro. See you in the morning. Good night, Drake.
Wait, didn't you just say goodnight?
What? No, I just said it now.
Right. All right. Good night.
Sleep tight. I'm gonna make some dinner. You hungry?
Yeah. What's on the menu?
Lasagna with a side of garlic bread. It'll be to die for.
Nice.
Hey Drake, can I run something by you real quick?
I could have sworn you just went into the kitchen.
Yo, do you know where the garlic is? I could have sworn I just bought some.
Okay, that's enough. Both of you, sit down. Now. Okay, one of you isn't real. And we're not leaving this room until I find out which one.
Drake, this is insane. Yeah, man, you're freaking out over nothing.
Both of you shut up. What's Mom's favorite food?
Grilled cheese with kimchi.
Wrong, it's jokbal. She just likes grilled cheese. What was the name of our first dog?
Rocket?
Nice try. Rocket was the cat.
This doesn't prove anything. You're just asking random questions.
Okay, let's try this. Where was I on my last birthday?
Your place. We watched that cheesy bee movie. Yeah, and we had chocolate ice cream cake. You were in heaven.
No, 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 no. I was in Busan. Alone. Neither of you were there.
Well, this is awkward. Drake, it's me. You locked the door again, you idiot. I found the extra key. Ah!
Hello everybody, I'm Sean and welcome to Philosophy Today. I'm your host and today I'm here with the distinguished guest, Chad Miller. Chad, how are you today?
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for having me today. It's great to be back, and I'm looking forward to our discussion today.
Excellent. My first question for you is it always wrong to lie?
It's a tough question, Sean. I feel like there are some situations where lying might be an acceptable option, but I don't know. It really comes down to like morals, I think. We see so many things about lying in places like religion. I think it just depends on the person. What about you? What do you think? Just like base level, do you think it's okay to lie sometimes?
I think so, but I think it's really important to distinguish when it's absolutely unacceptable to lie versus maybe these gray areas. Let's look at first when it's absolutely unacceptable to lie. For example, like compulsive liars. So someone who just gets a kick out of lying. Hey, John, what'd you do last summer? Last summer I went to Alaska and I hunted, polar bears. There's nothing to gain. You just get a thrill out of lying.
Sure.
I think that only degrades the person who is lying, their soul, their morality, their
integrity.
Their integrity,
Yeah.
and their self-worth because they know they're lying.
Okay, yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think when there's no benefit, you're not trying to protect anybody, you're not doing this for anybody's benefit but your own. I feel like that's sort of an unacceptable reason to lie. Why? What is the reason for doing this other than for greed or for personal benefit?
Right. So when else is it totally unacceptable to lie?
I think when you deliberately cause harm to other people, when
Deliberate cause of harm.
yeah, deliberate cause of harm. And so compulsive liars, they just lie for kicks, right? They just do it because they want to lie, right? But other people maybe are like they maliciously lie.
Yeah.
They lie about
Deceiving
something-
someone.
Yeah, they deceive somebody like in order to do harm to somebody, right?
Yeah.
And it's to me that is unacceptable, especially when it comes to emotions. And so maybe somebody will lie and say that, oh, they love somebody or they hate somebody, but it's not true. It's a lie. And it like deliberately deceives the person into believing that. It's almost like gaslighting a little bit, right? They deliberately deceive the person into thinking that they feel one way, only to maybe reveal later that they never felt that way at all. Yeah. And this to me is sort of an unacceptable reason to deceive, to lie.
For example, hey, I can help you to become a better actor. And just follow my advice and follow my teachings and I will help you. However, I've never acted in my entire life.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get this position, this job, and I'm lying to you in order to benefit myself, in order to make money. Of course, maybe you'll figure out one day that I am not an actor or I've never acted in my life, but I've already gained money from you. I've already gotten paid from you, and then I could just run away or something like that.
Okay. So, I mean, in a word, fraud.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you commit fraud, That is essentially just like lying on an epic scale that only has personal benefit, right?
Right.
You are telling people something when there's no basis in reality, right? Like you said, I will teach you to be a better actor, but I have zero experience doing it. And so you mislead people, you deceive people into...
For your own personal gain.
Yeah, sure, they're going to pay you money, or they're going to invest time and feelings and maybe money into you only to be let down, right? Only to be let down, to be deceived, to be taken advantage of. Yeah, and so I think I would agree with that. That's definitely an unacceptable time to lie.
Maybe another time would be like if a blind man walks up to you and says, "Can you help me pick out the $1 bill from my wallet and so that I can get on the bus?"
Yes.
And you count his money and you're like, yeah, use this $1 bill, and then you take $100 bill.
Okay.
And you're like, "There you go, sir. Have a nice day."
Sure,
you know, so you take a blind man's money, and he's like, "You didn't take my money, did you? Because I can't see if you did." And you're like, "No, I wouldn't do that." And you actually did take his money, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I think this sort of like leads into that sort of like moral bankruptcy that I mentioned at the beginning, right? You lie because you have like just... you don't have any morals. You can't distinguish between what is good and what is bad. And so you sort of lie in order to benefit yourself.
I think lying is also really bad for relationships as well.
This is where I think things get a little like murky. This is where I feel like there's gray areas.
Okay.
Like in a relationship, the girl asks you, "Do I look fat in this outfit, in this dress, in whatever," right? It's sort of that moment as the boyfriend, as the husband, as the significant other, right? Where it's sort of like, okay, do I tell them the truth? Maybe they do look fat, right? Maybe they do. Do you spare their feelings by lying to them? Or are you completely honest and possibly suffer the consequences of being completely honest with them? And so this is one of those areas where I'm kind of like, I feel like there's no correct answer here. You could lie to them and, you know, sort of spare feelings, keep things smooth, or you could possibly cause conflict by being completely honest with them and being like, well, it's maybe not the most flattering dress on you, and then maybe they get offended and it leads to more conflict, right?
I would agree.
Yeah, and so this is one of those areas where I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe it is okay to lie. They're not going to feel bad. I'm not going to start a fight, right? And so it's sort of a win-win situation, but there's no like deliberate harm being done in this case by lying, right? I'm not trying to deceive you into thinking that you look so incredibly thin for my own gain. It's just a win-win. I'm trying to spare your feelings, and I also sort of prevent a fight for myself.
Another example might be like if you have a young son or daughter and they're like, Daddy, come listen to me play piano.
Okay.
And they practiced all day on this song.
Sure.
And it sounds good for a 5-year-old.
Sure, yeah.
For a 5-year-old.
Right.
You would never listen to that in your free time to relax, because why would you? It's a 5-year-old,
Sure,
right? So when they're like, "Oh, how was it?" You should say to that kid, "That was amazing. You worked so hard on that.
So well.
You're so much better than you were yesterday because you practiced 5 hours today on this song. You were amazing." Was it amazing? Objectively? Probably not. But actually, in this case, I think it would be slightly evil to be like, "That was not good."
Yeah, right.
I would never listen to that. You're actually not lying.
You're not lying,
but you're not helping the child.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So in this case, it's better to lie.
Yeah, right. This is one of those things where like it gets murky, because are you lying to cause deliberate harm? Are you telling the truth and going to cause deliberate harm? Right? If you're completely honest with the child, "Son, that was terrible." Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're like deliberately causing harm by being completely honest with them. It's going to make them feel bad almost on purpose.
They might even quit.
They might even quit, yeah. And so you sort of have to think about the consequence of what a lie might cause. If we're going to tell the truth, what's going to be the consequence of that truth? Or what's going to be the consequence of that lie?
Great point, Chad. What will be the consequence?
Yeah.
That is a great criteria on whether to deem a lie harmful or what we say white lie.
Other examples of white lies also include, you mentioned children, right? Or things like the tooth fairy, or Santa Claus. These myths, these fairy tale characters that we often believe as children. And it's sort of like, if you're completely honest with them at such a young age, when they believe in Santa Claus or the tooth fairy or whoever, then you sort of like steal their innocence a little bit by being completely honest with them, right? And so we want to sort of shield their feelings a little bit from these absolute truths at such a young age, right? But I feel like maybe as you grow, some of these white lies we tell when they are children, they can sort of handle the truth at a certain point as well, right? Maybe we should adopt that stance for other white lies we tell also, maybe about being honest with our significant others about if they look fat or not. It's sort of like learn to be okay with the brutal honesty of if certain articles of clothing make you look good or bad. Would you rather hear the truth from your significant other about if this outfit makes you look good? Or do you want them to lie to you and everybody that's going to see you hours later is going to be thinking, oh, that really doesn't look good?
Well, sometimes your partner might need to hear, hey, you should go to the gym.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this, I mean, these are like, sometimes we say brutal honesty.
Yeah. Painful truths.
Painful truths. Brutal honesty is sometimes great. It's a very nuanced thing, lying, right? Like white lies and the scale of the lie, the consequence of the lie, I think is something people really have to consider when they either tell the truth or tell a lie.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Philosophy Today. Once again, I'm Sean.
And I'm Chad.
See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. Did you enjoy it? Also, how far did you get into the video without subtitles? Let me know in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Sean, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.